Welcome back to Top Notch Mystery Facts with Azib. Today, let's uncover the beauty of Sweden, known not only for its stunning landscapes, but also for its intriguing history and culture. From the annual burning of a straw goat to the remarkable Ericsson globe representing the sun, Sweden's charm knows no bounds. Discover the peaceful 2 centuries, the Ice Hotel, and the country's literary achievements. Stay tuned for more captivating stories and share your suggestions for future videos. Let's continue this exciting journey through the wonders of Sweden together. This is a channel where we like to get into the comments section and really take recommendations from you guys, so feel free to leave a suggestion for future top-notch mystery facts video, and we're going to look into it. And actually, because of that, some of you guys wanted us to do facts on this country, people like Resolute My Category Ears Guard, and of course many more of you guys. We got to thank you all for recommending it. Now, with that in mind, considering we're talking about the beautiful country of Sweden, let me ask you this: which country is the most beautiful people beyond, say, Canada is going to be? Who so on earth? Truth. Come on, really now? Sweden is a country that has an area of 450,295 square kilometers, and as of 2016, it's a population over 9,995,400 people, and it is estimated that it is already at 10 million, which makes it the 89th most populous country in the world through the density of 23.1 people per square kilometer. And of course, before we get into the cool achievements of this country, we got to talk about Sweden's imports and exports. Morris, April, according to the OEC, it has $159 billion in exports and $154 billion in imports. But Sweden is known for exporting machinery and electrical equipment, which makes up a majority of the exports, coming in at $44.8 billion. This is stuff like telephones, fourth lives, you name it, they've done. But refined petroleum makes up on its own 6.9%, and its import well of machinery also make up 40.2%, with crude petroleum coming in at 7.2%. Now, when we hear of Sweden, we like to probably say, yo, these people speak Swedish. Now, this Northern Germanic language is a descendant of Old Norse language. But the crazy part is this wasn't an official language until the country recognized it on July 1st, 2009. But besides its language, Sweden also has some really cool traditions, especially during Christmas. For example, since 1966, the town of Diabla has always put up a giant straw goat, and unfortunately, every single year, this straw goat is always burned down, and it's kind of an unacceptable tradition. The funny part is, although they keep an eye out for vandals if the giant goat is burned down before December 13th, it is rebuilt for the holidays now. Have you ever heard of the Ericsson globe? It is a cool structure located in Stockholm. Originally, it was called the Stockholm Arena, and it is the largest spherical building in the entire world. It has a diameter of 110 meters by 85 meters tall and can hold up to 16,000 people for spectacles and games. But that is not the only thing that makes the Ericsson globe really important. This is probably one of my favorite facts of all of Sweden that I've heard of so far, and the fact is that the Ericsson globe represents the sun, and I never noticed that Sweden is home to the largest scale model of the solar system in the entire world. Throughout the entire country, the solar system is represented. For example, you have Mercury being the Stockholm City Museum, Earth is represented for Cosmon, Nova Riksmuseet, and Stockholm. And as for Pluto, it's located all the way out in the Dell in Lakes and Delta. It's crazy, the model of the solar system takes up the entire country of Sweden. It's so cool, and because that Sweden takes great pride in its country, and because that it takes great care of its ecosystems and life, and to prove that the country has 15 UNESCO terror sites, with one still on the consideration list. But one of the most interesting ones is the Stroke Geodetic Arc, which Sweden shares with many other European countries like Germany and Belarus. Now, this art was inscribed in 2005, and the interesting thing about it, it was built in 1816 to 1855, and it was a series obtained triangulations going over 2250 kilometer. And this was in order for scientists Frederick George Wilhelm bumps through here to get an exact reading of how large the Earth actually was. Of course, when we talk about Sweden, we cannot forget about the famous Ice Hotel. hotel that is completely made of ice, even right down to the cup that you drink out of. It was first constructed in 1990, and every year it's always been rebuilt when it gets cold, and the ice from the structure comes from the Tyrrell River, and all the ice makes the structure over 64,600 square feet. I've always wanted to go there, but I think it's really expensive. Of course, one other fascinating thing about Sweden is that it hasn't participated in any wars in the last 200 years. This all happened after the Napoleonic Wars, which at the time Sweden had many conflicts with Russia. But the signing of the policy of 1812 was the beginning of its peace. However, the funny part is after the Cold War, Sweden has dropped its principle of neutrality, and although is not mandatory among its people to this day, they still continue to lower its military might. But when it comes to the history of Sweden, its people have a great story. And one of those famous stories is it is the first country to have a woman win a Nobel Prize for literature. This was Selma Lagerlöf, who is a teacher and writer, and not only was she the first woman to win for literature, she was the third woman to win a Nobel Prize in history. And let's not forget that since 1901, the country is the country that gives out the Nobel Peace Prizes each year in Stockholm, Sweden. But that's it, guys. Once again, we've learned a lot about a new country and its people. My name is Dave Walla, and it's been a pleasure talking about Sweden. But before we get out of here, guys, we want you guys to leave a comment down there for future top-notch mystery videos. And of course, check out our other videos. But more importantly, check out our trailer for a new series called Speak Easy, which is the narrative miniseries about rum runners and bootleggers before Al Capone ever became big. But thanks for watching, guys. Sweden is one of my favorite countries, and we have just scratched the surface on this great country, a country that has led great contribution to the world and its development, a modernized country with a heavy history and culture skating thousands of years ago. This is Sweden, a beautiful country, a beautiful place where people know that peace and wisdom are true strength. So, as we conclude our exploration of Sweden, remember to drop a comment for future video suggestions and check out our other exciting content. Stay tuned for our upcoming series, Speak Easy, and thank you for joining us on this journey through the wonders of Sweden. Peace and wisdom are truly the pillars of this beautiful country.